and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to the 4th day of February, 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over there. Hey, Big J.
Yeah.
How you doing, pal?
Pretty good.
You hanging in there?
I'm hanging in, man.
Is it okay if I start the show with a recommendation?
Oh, please.
Something that I completed last night that I feel like the entire listening audience of this particular show would find relevant, including yourself, Big J.
Oh.
And it revolves around multiple former time guests of the morning after. I would say a close friend of ours, Big J, and now the architect of the DC Universe, James Gunn. You familiar with the man?
Oh, yeah.
If you aren't familiar with the fact that his DC Universe officially kicked off with a little show called Creature Commandos that is now currently streaming on Max, I implore you and encourage you to watch it. I completed it last night. It's an easy, simple watch. Each episode is 22 to 24 minutes long, and it officially kind of kickstarts the way he wants to start his version of the DC Universe. And while I know, Big J, it's a couple of things that are your kryptonite, including it's animated, but...
No, it's animation style. The style of animation, not just that it's animated, the animation style.
Well, let's be fair. You're not
They're
watching a lot
different
of
styles.
animation,
Well,
right?
yeah, but some I have no problem watching.
Okay. Well,
So this is the same as Invincible, the style.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, it is. I've seen both, and it's not for me. It just isn't. I don't know how to explain it to you, but
Well,
there are
what's
different
this-
styles of animation.
I guess I don't
it's
understand
completely
what the
different
style
from
is.
Family Guy or
Sure.
that style. The style that you're talking about, Creature Commando, that's a Japanese animation style. I don't like it.
I guess I don't see the Japanese
I
animation
know
in
you
it.
don't, but I clearly
I
do.
mean, I've watched a lot of anime.
It's almost stop animation, old school animation style.
I don't think so at all.
So, well, I think you're wrong.
Well, listen.
It doesn't mean it's not great. I understand that. It's not pleasing to my eye.
Okay. Because see, I don't. We've had this argument before. I don't think that what you're seeing is like Voltron. I don't see the Japanese animation or the anime version of things in stuff like Invincible and Creature Commandos. I feel like it's action animation, but I don't feel like it has any kind of things that are aversive to the eye. Anyway, in my opinion,
it's just like you not playing first-person games. It's the same thing. You can't do it.
Yes, because it's too herky-jerky for me.
I can't do this.
I think you just don't like action animation.
No, either way, if that's what it's called, I can't do it. Just like you can't do an FPS.
Fair enough. But I will say this: you are then missing out on some fantastic
Sure,
content.
you miss out on tons of great games.
I believe it,
So,
but
I live still.
I'm not saying you will die if you don't. All I did was want to recommend a show to you, and you turned this into a personal attack.
Obviously, Creature Commando is probably a great show.
It's really good. And if you can't handle it, that's cool. But I encourage you that if you have any interest in James Gunn's Superman, know that these characters will at some point be put into the live action universe, but they're not going to dumb down their story for you. He's told you before that much like the Marvel universe, if you want to have an idea, there's now homework you have to do. It's like, there's all sorts of stuff that you have to watch, but this show kind of gets into the origins of these Creature Commandos characters, and it's done so in a very James Gunnian way, i.e. Guardians of the Galaxy, where the backstory is so good and surprisingly touching and actually has a lot of emotion involved in what made these characters quote-unquote monsters and what makes them outsiders to the general public and why they are doing what they're doing now, which is almost like a Suicide Squad team-up to help out, once again, Amanda Waller, who is trying to do a bunch of different things. The role that she has popped up in before in Peacemaker, as well as the Suicide Squad that James Gunn put together. It's a really cool way to kick off this particular universe, and I do recommend it to you if you are okay. Listen, if you just like good things, give it a shot, because it is that, especially if you like James Gunn's other stuff. It's very much James Gunnian. It's very much an adult approach to these comic books. It's very much like Peacemaker. There's some comedy.
Yeah.
There's some adult situations, and it's not the kind of stuff that screams this is for kids. Now, I don't think Superman's going to be in that vein. I believe it's going to be a little bit more family friendly than Creature Commandos is. But if you like a kind of interesting take on characters that you don't know, I mean, I didn't know any of these characters other than Weasel going into it from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And so it was a great introduction to all of these characters and who they are and the role that they will possibly play in the James Gunn DC universe going forward. It's really, really good. Today on the show, Big J's got to watch a movie. We are going to see if we can't pick out a cartoon for him to watch, and you need help.
As long as it's not action animation.
I'm sorry, that is not in my control. It's in the listener's control. And so we have an opportunity for you to pick a movie for Big J, and then also we have a chance for you to win a bunch of prizes, man. We have so many things up for grabs today.
Look out.
You're going to want to pay attention at Pop Culture Smackdown time as well as Bad Impressions time for that opportunity for you to score some really cool things. We have Big J, yet another guest on the show this morning, the 7 o'clock hour. Jamie Lissow, the great comedian, is going to call into the show. He is in town on Valentine's Day next week at the Egyptian Theater. We're going to learn all about him, and he's going to try to get you to buy a ticket or two, Big J. I don't know why it's so hard, but we're going to get that done, and that show's close to selling out, so you're going to want to tune in for that as well. Plus, we play some music, so let's go ahead and get started with some STP, shall we? It's Big Empty here on the Morning After on the X Rock.
Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Oh, my God.
What's up?
I think he's drunk.
Oh, no. It's a gas buddy?
Yeah, do you see him?
There he is.
He doesn't look well.
Hey, guys.
Oh, Gas Buddy, you okay?
I'm sick.
What's the matter?
Gas is so expensive.
Yeah, what happened, man? You were talking about great news and all sorts of things, and
New
then, like...
administration.
Oh, is that what it is?
No.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, you talked about the election impacting things, and now everything is over, and gas prices have raised 11 cents in the past week. What the hell, Gas Buddy?
California fires, probably. Oh, well.
I don't think you know anything about this. Gas Buddy, maybe we should stop asking you the reasons for things.
Yeah, stop asking him. He doesn't know.
Okay, then, Gas Buddy, you do know the prices. What's going on?
Stuff's expensive.
I do think he's drunk.
The same
I think he's drunk. The new average is $3.05 per gallon on Monday. That's about 7 cents higher than it was a month ago. 21 cents per gallon higher than it was a year ago. On Sunday, the cheapest station in Boise was $2.85. The most expensive was $3.12. That's a difference of 27 cents. As far as the state goes, $2.81 is the cheapest. $3.89 is the most expensive. So it's $1.08 depending on where you get your stuff here in the Treasure Valley. Gas Buddy, any relief in sight?
Nope.
Gas Buddy, why?
Tariff.
All right. It's not that kind of show, Gas Buddy. Get out of here. Jesus H.
Don't ask him critical questions.
But yeah, apparently he's going to get all political on you. And so Gas Buddy has got bad news for you, it's been a while, but man, things are through the roof once again. We're north of $3 a gallon. That's not great. The hell's going on out there? So fuel up. Make sure you pay attention as to where you're fueling up so that you're saving yourself as much money as possible. Please and thank you. Big J, what happens when the Defensive Player of the Year has had it up to here and decides he is on a franchise that just can't seem to get out of their own way?
He demands a trade.
Welcome to the world of Myles Garrett, the defensive end who has been pretty much exceptional every time he has taken the field for the Cleveland Browns, has decided he doesn't want to play for the Cleveland Browns anymore. And quite frankly, Big J, who can blame his ass?
He's 4 years too late.
I know. He was trying to. I think he was hoping things would be turning. Because listen, don't forget, for a while there, the Browns looked like a team on an upswing, a legitimate team that had an opportunity to do something, and then they went and traded for Deshaun Watson.
Kept Baker Mayfield,
and it all went in the crapper. Well, I mean, listen. To be fair, Baker Mayfield's been on 3 other teams since he left the Browns, and none of them held on to him either. He's just now getting into his own. And you live and die by Baker Mayfield. I mean, the mistakes are also what cost them that playoff game. So. I like Baker Mayfield,
got
too.
Them to a playoff game.
Very true. I do believe that Baker Mayfield...
Something they hadn't had in a long time.
...is a better quarterback than they have had on that team for a really, really long time, but they didn't have the patience, and that's sometimes what it takes. But Myles Garrett wants out. There's not a lot of teams that can afford him. He makes a lot of money, but there are about 3 or 4 teams in the salary cap space right now that can make that happen. Who knows where he's going to end up or if he is moved. Requesting a trade and being traded are 2 very different things. but we will see where this shakes out. But it doesn't seem like Myles Garrett has any patience with the Cleveland Browns anymore, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. And off the air, Big J and I both were pitching Myles Garrett to our favorite teams. He wasn't listening to us, either of us, Big J. So we'll see where he ends up going. But I know you think he'd look good in 49ers colors. I think he'd look amazing in green and gold.
Of course he would.
So let's see where he ends up going. But best of luck to wherever he ends up, because I do think he's a hell of a football player.
Yep. I mean, he might be the defensive player of the year again.
Yeah, who knows?
2 years in a row.
Depends on where he could be going through a J.J. Watt renaissance here. And it could be... hell, I don't know what it'll take for you to get Myles Garrett to your team. Maybe you'll have to bring them ahead to Mason Rudolph.
Question is what's he willing to do to get traded? Let's see, is he going to get fat?
Like the NBA?
Yeah. Is he going to? He's going to obviously not show up to OTAs.
Yeah.
None of that stuff. He can't do it. He's just got to say, you know what? I'm not working for you.
Yeah. I mean, he could put I'm not sure. Is there anybody that's really worked for other than Deshaun Watson? But he had other stuff going on that forced that trade. Le'Veon Bell is the only one that I can think of that pulled that off, and then he disappeared after he got traded.
It worked, but he just didn't show up after that.
It didn't work out for the Jets, that's for sure, who traded it for him. That seems to be a running thing with the Jets, too. Could be a cursed franchise. Big J, Ethan Embry, you remember that son of a gun?
Yeah.
The latest 90s superstar to join the Scream 7 cast. We talked about how they're bringing back some of the other cast members from the 90s original run, like Scott Foley and Matthew Lillard. Now, Ethan Embry wasn't involved in the Scream franchise that I can remember, but certainly had his most impactful roles in the 90s, and now he is going to be headed to the Screamiverse. Kevin Williamson is going to direct this movie. He, of course, was the writer of the original Scream, so more names that at least you're familiar with are popping up in that Scream movie to try to get you to spend some money and see them in the theater, Big J. Are you going to be back? Are you back on the Scream?
Yeah,
wagon?
It should be interesting. Like, he hasn't directed a whole lot of stuff.
Kevin Williamson?
Yeah.
I thought, did he not direct the last one?
No.
Am I wrong?
No, the only thing he's directed is a Teaching Mrs. Tingle.
Oh, God. Is that
1999.
The one with, is that the one with Katie Holmes?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yep.
Morning After with Nick
Good call, man.
and Big J. Nailed it.
All questions about that for pop culture.
That's all I know about it. So there is your first round of important stuff. We're going to need your help picking out a movie for Big J. That's next on the X Rocks.
It's Streaming Dumbass on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Treasure Valley, Big J wants to watch a movie tonight, but he cannot be trusted with making that decision on his own. We are putting that decision in your hands. We are asking you to select a movie for Big J to watch tonight so he can review it for you tomorrow and let you know what he thinks of said movie. Now, here's the catch. You're not going to know the actual title of the movie, know the stars of the movie, at least not yet. First, you have to decide the movie Big J is going to watch. You do so by listening to a brief plot description from 3 particular movies that are located on streaming services across the internet. And based on that plot description, you must select a movie for Big J to watch by texting into us movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3 to 208-287-1003. The movie that gets the most votes is the one that Big J agrees to watch, no questions asked, and report back tomorrow and let you know what he thinks of the movie and if it's worth your time or not. So far this year, we're 2 movies that Big J has approved and 1 that he has disapproved, so we're headed in the right direction. We'll see where we go. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Hear it.
Any issues or disparities with the description of Streaming Dumbass?
No.
Then we are good to go. Movie number 1. A man is forced to save his kidnapped niece in South America. He soon discovers that her disappearance is part of a corrupt private operation that hits way too close to home.
Oh, no.
Movie number 2. A longtime leader of a nation decides to re-enlist and joins a secret division of the armed forces tasked with protecting those that can't protect themselves. Things get complicated when the past catches up with them and their new collective. Movie number 3. A veteran police officer and his rookie partner face adrenaline-fueled pursuits and unexpected threats as they navigate the job of a cop.
Cop.
Movie number 1, Give Me Back My Niece. Movie number 2, The Past is Back. Or movie number 3, Cop and a Half. These are your 3 choices. Which one do you want Big J to watch? All of them have a running theme throughout. adrenaline fueled, Big J. All three of these movies qualify as action films.
Heart pumping.
So you're going to get a heart stopper no matter which way you go. The question is, which one does the audience want you to watch? Movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3? Text it in to 208-287-1003. We'll tabulate the votes and let you know the names of all of the movies, including the one Big J has to watch, next on the X. That is Tool, that is Sober here on The Morning After with Nick and Big J. Let's get to the exciting conclusion of Streaming Dumbass. You guys had 3 movies to choose from. Is there a clear and decisive winner, Big J?
Definitely, yes.
Wonderful. Let's break it down kind of a little bit, just so you know, Big J. There were 3 movie choices in this particular bunch. And I will say this. One movie contains probably the actor or actress that has been a staple in the world of Streaming Dumbass. I would say if there was a leader in the clubhouse of somebody that's been in more options for Streaming Dumbass movies, this person is in one of them. In another movie, Big J is the latest in a long and successful series of movies based on a particular topic. And then the third movie is written and directed by somebody that is probably famous for putting together some of the worst movies ever made. So we will see what movies were chosen for you and which one you are given. Big J, what movie came in third place?
Third place, movie number 2.
I was the one that had the most star power and probably was the most well-known of the bunch, Big J. It's called Section 31. Have you heard of it?
I think so. This was Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, the new Star Trek movie.
Yeah, I've heard it's terrible.
Michelle Yeoh, Sam Richardson is in it. However, Big J, you don't have to worry about that, as you won't be watching it. Did you watch the last Star Trek movie?
No.
You're just off that train, huh?
Yeah.
What was it that got you off it? Because you were excited about the J.J. Abrams ones, and then you just stopped being.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never really a huge Star Trek fan.
No?
But
You just went because it was something to do?
Exactly.
Well, you will not have to worry about Section 31, Big J, in the Star Trek-averse. What movie came in second place?
Movie number 3.
Movie number 3. That movie is called First Shift. It stars Gino Pesci and Kristen Renton. And that was the one written and directed by Yuli Boll. Big J, are you familiar with his work?
No.
Go through and look at some of the movies. I guarantee you've probably seen some of them, and none of them are good.
Yuli Boll.
Yui. U-W-E-B-O-L-L. Famous for making movies like Postal. He does a lot of really bad video game adaptation movies, and a lot of them are not considered good. He went on a run with, because he was married to Mila Jovovich for a while. So she was in all of his movies for a bit. But this is not...
What's the name of the movie?
It's called First Shift. But you won't be watching that one, so you can look on that in your own time. What will you be watching?
Movie number 1, overwhelmingly.
That is called Long Gone Heroes, Big J. It stars Streaming Dumbass staple Frank Grillo. Remember him?
Yeah.
You won't be watching him in Creature Commandos, but you can see him in live action in Long Gone Heroes. Andy Garcia is in this film as well.
Yeah, right.
And it is on Paramount Plus, as were all 3 of these films. So that is where you'll be watching Long Gone Heroes, a movie that was released later part of last year. If you want to play the home game, you can find it on Paramount Plus. Big J will watch it tonight and review it for you tomorrow and let you know what he thinks. And we'll see if we can go 3 approvals and 1 disapproval, or we even up the count for the year 2025. So again, the movie Long Gone Heroes is the Streaming Dumbass winner. Tune in tomorrow to see what Big J thinks. Important stuff, and we're going to hell on the way on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Man, she a legend.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Big J, with your permission and thanks to research from the University of South Carolina, I'd like to give you another reason to maybe floss a little bit.
Oh?
Because if you don't have enough, like your dentist getting in your grill about it, when you're sitting down in the chair going, hey, when's the last time you flossed? When he knows the answer already, you know what I mean?
Yeah. 6 months ago when you did it.
He's all up in there. He's the last guy to do that stuff. He knows when the exact last time you flossed. And you see all the commercials on TV about gingivitis, Big J, and all sorts of stuff. Maybe, just maybe, if you found out that thanks to the University of South Carolina, they found out that flossing was associated with preventing strokes, maybe now you start sticking strings in your teeth, huh?
Yeah, probably.
They found out that if you floss on the regular, you have a 22% lower risk of clot-caused strokes and 44% lower risk of strokes caused by blood clots moving from the heart. Now, how does that happen? Well, quite frankly, oral health behaviors are linked to inflammation and artery hardening. And so they found that out. Flossing may reduce stroke by lowering oral infections and inflammation. More than 6,000 participants reported how often they flossed over the course of 25 years. Flossing was also linked with the lower risk of cavities and gum disease. But quite frankly, you already knew that.
I did.
But now it helps your brain and your heart, all this flossing. So maybe stop at the store, pick up some string, and throw it between your gums and your teeth. And just make them bleed, Big J.
Yeah.
And that'll help with clotting, you understand?
Yeah. But I don't want no stroke, so I'll get right to it.
Is that a TLC song?
I want no stroke. I'll get right to it.
It's also known as a bust. Hey, umpire Pat Hoberg is in trouble. He used to be an umpire with Major League Baseball, but not anymore, Big J.
Used to be.
He was fired for sharing illegal sports betting accounts with a friend. Here's the problem. That quote-unquote friend bet on baseball.
Yeah, why would you even entertain that? It seems real stupid.
It's almost like gambling and sports being so closely related is a recipe for disaster,
Like,
right?
It seems to be being an umpire is a sweet gig.
Yeah, well, I would guess it's probably pretty stressful, and it's probably not a whole lot of fun because essentially you get called God knows how many names throughout the course of 162
yeah, I think those
games.
power tripping a-holes love it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can understand wanting to unwind at the end of the day, but there's about 500 billion other things that you can do, both legally and illegally, that doesn't involve something so close to being something that could damage your game in a serious capacity.
Yeah.
And this is one of those. Now, again, according to Major League Baseball, it was the friend that was betting on it and not the umpire, but because it was a shared account, that's all it takes. Why you need to share an account with your friend is another thing altogether.
That's kind of weird. I don't, I would never share a gambling account with you.
No, why would you?
You're a degenerate.
Why would you share something with him? First of all, Big J, it's illegal in the state of Idaho to gamble.
Oh, whoops. Oh, no. I mean, when I'm hanging out in Ontario.
But it is legal where Pat lived and pretty much everywhere else. And so that's, it's not him breaking the law that became a problem. It's the fact that why share something with somebody that coincidentally bet on baseball? It does automatic. I mean, there's a reason why why he's not part of Major League Baseball anymore. It looks probably exactly like it is. He was feeding him inside information about baseball and then betting on it and hoping to make some money on it. Now, again, listen, I'm no genius, but hey, just tell your friends this and don't share an account and nobody probably would know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fact that your name is also on it makes it fishy AF. What are you doing?
I'm not the smartest.
No. So, but you don't have to be smart to be an umpire, Big J. I've been saying it for years.
You barely have to be able to see.
What are you, blind? Hulu is nearing a pilot order for a sequel series to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Big J, with Sarah Michelle Gellar coming back in a recurring capacity. The series will be helmed by Nora and Leela Zuckerman. They're the people that put on Poker Face as well as Suits.
Okay.
And additional direction by Chloe Zhao, who, of course, won the Oscar for No Man Land, and you probably recognize her as the director of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, The Eternals, which you love so much.
Never seen it.
Notably absent is the original creator, Joss Whedon, Big J. That's because he is a full-fledged creep. The show, which debuted back in 1997, ran for 7 seasons, also led to the spin-off series Angel. Buffy was originally a film, Big J. You remember that with Christy Swanson, right?
Yes.
Now, Joss Whedon also wrote that movie. So he's been involved since the beginning. So this is going to be the first Buffy project, period, without Joss Whedon, but there's a reason for that, or reasons for that, plural, unfortunately.
Probably safer for the ladies who are working in it.
Yeah, I think they would agree with you there. So we'll see how this comes together. Again, it's not done. Hulu hasn't greenlit it just yet, but it's pretty much all but done. So I will be honest, Big J, I never watched the original run. This is something that's
You
out
never
of my
watched
purview.
the TV series?
Correct.
Okay.
I did watch the movie, but I never really got into the TV series, nor have I watched any Angel, so this is all stuff that I'm not really
Well, that's where we got
familiar
David Boreanaz from.
I'm familiar with him,
So-
sure.
Angel was pretty cool. I did see a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I was dating a girl who's really into Angel, so that's why I saw all this.
Like Mr. Bones, the actor, or like just the TV series? Both, maybe.
No, Angel in particular. She
So-
was into the vampire thing.
Okay, so, but I mean, did she like him because he was handsome, or did she like the TV series?
No, she loved the TV.
Got it. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with any of this, so it's probably, I mean, a big commitment. If it's a sequel series, you'd have to know kind of what already happened in this whole universe before you
You know
jumped
what?
in.
It's not that. You're all right. You're all right.
I'm okay?
You're going to be okay.
Good. Morning After with Nick and Big
I mean,
J.
you'll never say that to me about something.
No, it's true. I listen, I'll say it to you right now. You're going to be okay if you don't watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the sequel series. But there are lots of people that are into it. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We're going to go to hell next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber. Stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell. The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X rocks.
Back to Florida for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, but this is a story that can happen really anywhere. No, not really. But there is a particular situation where this story happened. There's a lot of them. I'm talking about WingStop, Big J. You ever had WingStop wings?
I love it.
You do. I enjoy them as well. Last time you had WingStop, go.
Last month.
All right. That's January, buddy. That was just the last week, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
And there is an employee there at WingStop that is facing some real issues, Big J. It all started on Tuesday night of last week, where a couple of people went into the local WingStop there in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And, you know, it was a couple of teenage kids, Big J. And they were doing what teenage kids do, which is to say, just causing a ruckus, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, just sitting inside the store, being really loud, being really aggressive. And so the manager, who is Karen L. Irene, came over to them and said, hey, listen, you're disrupting other customers. We don't mind if you hang out here and enjoy your meal, but if you would please keep it down, that would be appreciated. Well, you know how kids today are, Big J. The second somebody comes over and tells them not to do something, well, this is America. We do what we want to do. As a matter of fact, we'll do it louder than we were doing it before because you told us not to, right?
Right.
And so they started to get even more aggressive and even more loud. And so once again, manager came over and said, hey, now I'm going to ask you to leave. And so on the way out, the teenagers reached behind the counter of the WingStop, Big J, and knocked over a large container of straws. Well, Carnell wasn't going to have any of that. And so she picked up a pretty big portion of ranch, Big J, and then threw it at the customer.
God, what a waste of great ranch.
Customers obviously weren't happy at that, and then they started yelling, screaming, being even more disruptive, now covered in ranch. And so that is when the manager, who, by the way, Big J, I should say, is 19 years old. I'm not sure a 19-year-old should be managing anything.
Now, why not, man? Get them into managing early.
Well, because
The
they
WingStop,
sometimes
I
make
mean-
bad decisions, like running back, Big J, after being called some names and grabbing a vat of hot grease, Big J, and then pouring that hot grease on the two customers that were causing
They're
a
just
problem.
hanging out. I'm going to stay here while this guy pours hot grease on me.
Well, first of all, it's a lady, but yeah,
Oh, lady.
the lady poured hot grease on them, and yes, they did. Now, to be fair,
You can kind of see that coming.
if you saw the video, it wasn't like she stood there and poured it over the top of their heads, okay?
Well, he said poured as
Right.
opposed to throw.
Well, splashed hot grease on them. How about that? Because, yeah, it was a pretty good distance, but she got them pretty good. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, that could really do some damage to a person.
A lot of the hot grease landed on the two victims. And security footage shows several individuals from WingStop trying to hold back the manager from throwing grease on the customers, but they were unsuccessful in doing so. She did admit to spraying ranch and dumping grease on the customers and said, quote, her actions were justified because the customers were being verbally abusive and knocked over straws. The hot oil recipients complained, of course, of liquid burns, and they did have to go to the hospital, and they did have burned skin on their face, neck, and arms.
Ouch.
And a crime scene investigator photographed the injuries and then also noted that the eatery's floor was, quote, greasy and slippery. The employees did appear to clean up the oil that was all over the floor before police arrived. That's also not advisable. So here's the other problem, Big J. One of them was 18 years old, but the other one was a minor. So now she is being charged with aggravated battery and aggravated child abuse. Both of them are felonies. And so she is now facing some serious time and serious fines.
Serious crime. I mean,
Yes.
you could have really... She could have killed somebody,
Yes.
really.
I
So.
do not know what those kids said. I do know that nobody likes it when straws are knocked over. But once again, this feels like a Big J punishment for a crime that isn't probably worth that kind of anger and vitriol and revenge.
So now her punishment should be she should have her hand dipped into hot grease.
Here we go. Eye
In
for
the
an eye,
fryer.
right?
Yeah.
Well, her punishment's going to be she'd have a couple felonies, and she's facing probably 6 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. So
And that's just for wasting good ranch.
that's right. That's just for the ranch. That does not include the grease problems that the WingStop had. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X-Rocks. And Big J. Comedian Jamie Lissow's very good at what he does. He has been in a bunch of TV shows. He's done a bunch of stand-up, and he is headed back to the Treasure Valley at the Egyptian Theater on Valentine's Day. Tickets are available now at xrock.com. You can grab it at egyptiantheater.net. But it's a great opportunity for us to catch up with Jamie Lissow, who joins us on the show this morning. Good morning, Jamie. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You know how you always have trouble making plans on Valentine's Day? I thought to myself, I'm going to book a show and take the pressure off my relationship. And I will book a show in the town where my fiance lives. That was my
get
plan.
out of here. Well, I didn't know there was a personal connection. That's awesome, man.
Oh, yeah, you guys. Boise's now my second home. I'm not even kidding you. It goes Fairbanks, Alaska, Boise, Idaho, and New York City. I like to tell you the first time I landed to do my first Egyptian show, which was opening for Rob Schneider. I'm giving you a lot of information right out of the gate because I'm very passionate right now. I met my fiance opening for Rob Schneider at the Egyptian Theater.
No kidding.
3 years ago. Yeah, and I remember I landed, and I go, hey, it's great to be in Boise. And the person picking me up goes, hey, it's Boise.
Yes.
And I go, listen, I've been here for 1 minute. Do you have to be so critical? Can we ease into this? And, but yeah, it has a special place in my heart, man. And then the first theater I ever booked as a comedian, my manager calls me and says, yeah, it's this theater called the Egyptian in Boise, Idaho. It's your first one. I go, get out of here. And it was the first theater I ever headlined 2 years ago. We sold that one out.
That is awesome, man. I mean, I knew that you had been here before, and I knew you had played the Egyptian before. I had no idea it had such a personal connection to you. So it must mean a lot to come back here every now and again, huh?
Yeah, I'm actually calling you guys from the parking lot outside the studio right now.
Come on
very
in.
close connection.
Yeah, we should have had you in the studio. What the hell were we thinking?
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody answered the door, so I figure I'll just call in, you know.
You sure pick places that are hard to get in and out of in an airplane.
Yeah, dude, I just I said to my manager, I go, what would be the least convenient places for me to base out of? That would get me the least amount of sleeping time, but the most airline miles. And he goes, what about Alaska, Boise, and New York City? I said, that's perfect.
Nailed it. Jamie Lissow joins us. Going to be at the Egyptian Theater on Valentine's Day. Of course, you can grab your tickets at jamielissow.com. xrock.com, egyptiantheater.net has everything that you need. Jamie, is there extra pressure to doing a Valentine's Day show? Do you have to kind of like alter your material? Is that the smart play when it's a holiday like this?
Well, it's not just Valentine's. I'm be completely honest with you. I'm nervous right now for the show because not just because it's Valentine's Day, but because it's like that going home. Boise's now my going home show, so I have a lot of people that I want to have a good time. Like a lot of people from all walks of life. My fiance will be there. Mm-hmm. Her mom will be there. My colorectal doctor will be there. He's the guy that gave me my colonoscopy, which is now the biggest bit that I have in my act is about my colonoscopy. He will be sitting in the front row.
Oh.
And yeah, dude, can I give a small? Feel free to edit me out if you feel like this is inappropriate.
No,
but I
go.
did just hear this morning that the show is completely sold out except for a few single seats.
Okay.
So I don't want to be negative, but I just didn't want anybody to think like, oh man, he came on and like I can't get in. There are single seats, but it is. I just looked at the seat map, and honestly, man, it excited me almost sexually how many tickets had been sold. But yeah, so it's just single seats left. Can I give a friendly plug? I love Dusty Slay. He's one of my favorite comedians. if for some reason you couldn't get into my show, I could not recommend more of this man, Dusty Slay. And I will definitely be booking another show.
It's so funny. We just had Dusty on yesterday.
Yes, I knew that. I was listening to you guys. So it was a great interview, and I love that dude. And I just didn't want to mislead anyone, having anybody be mad at me.
Nick, he's in the parking lot.
I forgot how close you were, Jamie. That's my fault.
Yeah, dude. I'm talking to Dusty right here in the parking lot.
Jamie, I mean, it must be nice. I mean, congratulations on everything coming full circle, and that has to feel pretty good, right? To know that this is kind of where it started. It's kind of a hometown show, and then to know the buzz is already there, that's got to be pretty fulfilling.
I'll be honest with you, it feels fulfilling. I'm the kind of guy where I do not have feelings of fulfillment very often. It's very hard for me. I kind of just always look to either the next thing or I wait for it all to fall apart, and this is making that very difficult. I feel very fulfilled. Like, this is one of those. It's really cool, man. And I'm not really nervous about the show. I just have very high. I have high expectations for myself. I don't want to disappoint anybody because Boise does feel like this second home. And, dude, it's the most full circle thing that I have ever felt in my life.
Jamie Lissow joins us, of course, going to be at the Egyptian Theater on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Just single tickets left, so grab them while you can. Jamie, you've done your share of acting as well as stand-up. I know there's still a passion there for stand-up. Do you enjoy the acting? Do you see yourself doing more of that going forward, or do you like this kind of split that you're working right now?
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I just did an acting project this morning. I was on the phone with my ex-wife pretending to like her. And I love the acting, man. It's something I don't do it as much because touring has just been the best. I've been doing comedy for a long time, you guys. I did Boise many years ago. Mm-hmm. It's just no one else was there. I was alone. And but I feel like the touring is what I've always wanted was to sell tickets to people that kind of knew who I was when they came to the show, and it's finally happening after I've been doing comedy for 30 years or something. And so I am very, very concentrated on this. But that said, I did a little part in a movie last year, and I wrote the movie. And so it's kind of me and Rob Schneider. He'll call me every few months. I'll be honest, he calls me every few minutes, but I answer every few months. And he's always got a project that I can't wait to do. And so he just called me about a TV show, and I was like, yeah, dude, I want to do it. And so you can find time to do the acting stuff. It's not as much, but that was one of the best jobs I've ever had, man. My Netflix show, Real Rob, still going on Netflix, and it's so fun, man. Acting is so. Dude, I remember running into Craig Robinson. I don't know if you guys know Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
And he had just started acting, and we just really hit it off at this comedy club. And oh my God, I'm not even just saying this. It was the Funny Bone in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
This is all coming full circle. We were at the Idaho.
Yes,
hotel?
that's it. Yes.
Okay. We're at the Idaho, and I remember him saying to me, I go, what is acting like, man? You just were in like a TV show. And he just broke it down like, dude, it's so difficult to secure these jobs. But when you do, he's like, I just feel like that feeling of being in the flow, like Jordan talks about. He's like, it is. And I feel the same way as Robinson. And then moments after that week, he was on The Office. He did Hot Tub Time Machine. And I just loved watching his trajectory with a huge amount of jealousy and contempt. And I wish it was me. But yeah, it's hard to get those gigs. You kind of have to do a lot of the projects yourself, which is how me and Schneider do it. We just go, hey, I know I'm getting the part if I'm the casting director.
Hell yeah.
And so we do a lot of stuff ourselves. But I hope to do a little bit more this year.
How much effort do you put on, and this isn't an negative thing or anything, but on the acting part itself, or is it that stand-up comedians have a natural ability to BS and pretend?
Dude, I think you said it, because even if you look at Robin Williams and Jim Carrey, who are not traditionally trained as actors, who are amazing dramatic actors, I feel like a lot of comics kind of have that natural, I remember on Real Rob, the Netflix show, I had to be really, really sad because this girl broke up with me, and all I thought about was just how my career was going. And I think we can tap into that. I'll just think about the failures I had last week, and this will bring the tears in. And yeah, I do feel like there's something there, though, man. Schneider told me I was just a writer on the show. And then the night before, I won't bore you with the story, but the night before we started filming, I got the part of his assistant, which is the third lead, and I'm in every episode. I had no idea I would be playing that character. And part of his thing was the person they hired to play the character was a little too by the book and theatrical, and he was having trouble. And he said, man, I think I got to recast this guy. And he goes, let's just do one of these scenes. And me and him did one. And he was like, I gotta have you there, man, because it was just so natural, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to act, but he felt like We already have this chemistry. And also the part was to play his assistant. And as he was telling me he might give me the part, I was making him a tea. That is, I swear to God, that's true.
Serendipity. It's crazy.
True. Yeah, but I think you have a point there. Yeah, I think a lot of comics have something in there that allows them to be good actors.
Well, check it out for yourself at the Egyptian Theater come Valentine's Day, February 14th. It's going to be an awesome time. Just a few tickets available, but we want you to go check it out. Jamie, if people want to follow you online, what's the best place to do that, sir?
I'll just give you my address.
Yeah, love it. Love it. You're right down the street.
Parking lot, 100.3, Nick and Big J. So I'm on Instagram at I am Jamie Lissow. That's the best place to follow me. I'm gonna say something really crazy that I have not. I haven't passed this by the venue. I just thought of it just now. But if a pair of people or a couple people want to buy those single tickets, I will. There's a meet and greet that you have to, people pay a little extra to whatever, and that doesn't make me uncomfortable at all, you guys. And if somebody buys those single seats, I'm going to give them a meet and greet, and maybe they could meet each other. I mean, unfortunately, what's going to happen is going to be a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool if it was a girl and a guy on Valentine's Day? And so I'm going to do this without running it by the venue. If a girl and guy or a pair of girls and guys call up and says I'm single, I'll give them a meet and greet and I'll introduce them to each other for those last. I think there's 5 tickets left.
Look at you, love connection. Now, Jamie, will you pay for the second date if things go well the first time around?
I will do it. I will do it just like the dating show. I will pay for the second date. I'll send you guys out.
I love it. I love it. And that is very generous of you to offer a chance to hang out. But great catching up, Jamie. Grab those tickets to check them out at the Egyptian Theater on Valentine's Day. And thank you for making time for us, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, you guys are awesome, man. Good chat. I've listened to you guys in Boise, Idaho on my car radio. So nice to talk to you.
Thank you, buddy. We appreciate it.
Hope you have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Spanning the globe in search of news. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Listen to me. Important Stuff is brought to you by Be Our Guest. This Friday, 9 o'clock, xrock.com. We're going to invite you to be our guest to get $50 worth of food at Pita Pit for just $25 American dollars. If you haven't been, it's an amazing place to grab yourself a lunch or dinner. Mediterranean food at its finest. Whether you want yourself some pita bread, you want yourself a gyro, you want yourself any kind of like grilled cheese sandwich, or you want to go healthy and get some quinoa, you can do that as well. But there's some great food there at Pita Pit, and it doesn't matter what you want or what you're in the mood for. You can have yourself a great time, and you can pair it with a great smoothie or soda, and you got a decent meal there. So make sure you be our guest this Friday, xrock.com. Click the Be Our Guest link right there at the front page and grab yourself $50 to Pita Pit for just $25 at xrock.com coming up on Friday. Big J, I may seem a little bit weird to you, but I am somebody that has a little bit of a routine in the morning. I get up fairly early, and so one of the things I need to do in order to feel awake is I got to take a shower. It's just something that I need to do. I feel clean when I get here in the morning. I feel like I smell somewhat okay, and that is something that helps get me through the day. But apparently, at least according to the University of South Australia, I'm not waking myself up properly because I'm taking a warm/hot shower, and I need an ice bath.
I've told you the problem I've been having, right?
No.
And this what is left in here might explain what I've been going through, but when I take a hot shower, like I get some brain fog happening. Like it's just, I just get really relaxed, and I'm just like very lethargic. And
is it too hot? Maybe.
No, I don't even take that. I mean, it's not like my kids when they take a shower and they come out and they're red because they got it turned all the way up. No, I think it's a reasonable amount of heat, but it clearly is something that has happened to me on a routine basis. So I don't take one before I come in here because I would be asleep right now.
No, I know you don't take a shower before you come in here. I know.
Or ever.
Ice baths are something that they're trying to get you to get into. Now, it's been a health trend for the last couple of years. In fact, I think I told you about the dude that cornered Randy and I at a New Year's Eve party and talked us into taking ice baths, and I absolutely hated it.
Our buddy Hossack's been trying to get us into it for a long time, man.
Yes. Every time he comes in here, he talks about ice baths, and I call him just as crazy as I do that guy that tried to talk me into it. But they did analysis of 11 different studies and found that ice baths do actually relieve stress. They do actually help out your immune system. As a matter of fact, those who take regular cold showers and ice baths also take 29% fewer sick days. When they do get sick, illnesses last just as long, however. But there are safety considerations, too, because ice baths can essentially increase inflammation, at least initially. And then they slow down during the actual kind of amount of time that you take it. So something to keep in mind. Again, not for me. I thought I was in hell, and I didn't like them at all. But there are some health benefits to it. Big J, not the first thing that I've been told is healthy that I've said no to.
It's hard to, I mean, I've tried.
You can't do it either?
I mean, it's a counter. Like an ice bath might be different than a cold shower.
Yes.
You know, because you're just, boom, you're in it, and you're in it for a few minutes, and then you get out. But a cold shower is just like, I mean, where do you start? You start it with cold water,
Yes.
and then even then, it's like, is my shower fully pressured because it's on cold? And who does that? Who uses a cold shower? The shower device doesn't know that's what's happening.
Okay, so we have a problem. You don't like hot showers. You don't like cold showers.
No, I love a hot shower.
Okay.
It'll put me right to sleep.
Okay, got it. Just making sure that there's some sort of cleanliness going on here.
Yes.
Hey,
Well, you've noticed.
you remember Daniel Snyder?
The idiot who owned the Washington Redskins?
Yes. And then refused to change the name and then became the football team before becoming the Commanders. Then he sold it to the new owner, Josh Harris. Well, if you remember, one of the things that Josh Harris talked about when he took over the team was he wasn't exactly gung-ho about the Commanders name, and he thought about maybe changing the name again. But Josh Harris announced yesterday the name is now being embraced by the team, and the Commanders is what they're going to stick with. Fans are still nostalgic for a lot of different things, but you know what? The Commanders are okay. Josh Harris is fine with the name. New ownership is cool with it, so they will be the Commanders moving forward. Big J, they're going to keep things rolling with that name for now. How say you?
Great.
All for it?
Yeah, fine.
Will you wear your Washington Commanders hat
I
tomorrow?
don't have one.
All right, fine. Did you see the new trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps, Big J?
I did.
Give me your first impression of First Steps.
It looks fun and not crappy like the other ones. Like initially seeing the trailer for the previous couple, you just knew they were going to be garbage.
Well, the last one, the trailer was okay.
I don't think so.
I never really enjoyed, and I didn't like the foam suit for the Thing and the Michael Chiklis ones. I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. That came off as too phony for me and looked a little too low grade. And I really didn't enjoy those. I haven't enjoyed a single Fantastic Four film. Who am I kidding? But Fantastic Four, as I've said 1.5 billion times in this show, my favorite comic growing up. I have been dying for a good Fantastic Four film. I, again, have my worries about this particular film, but I enjoy the aesthetic of it. I like it. It's already clearly, Big J, a alternate universe than the one that we're currently in. But you get to see in the trailer some great kind of aesthetics. This clearly takes place in the 60s. The Fantastic Four clearly very famous in whatever world that they're in, which is a big part of the comic book as well. Did you like the way the Thing looked, which is very CGI, but very comic accurate, if you will? He's not a gigantic Hulk-esque kind of character. He's kind of normal size, but made of rock. And so I like the vibe of it as well. You get to see a little bit of Galactus, who is involved in it. Nothing of the Silver Surfer, which is also involved in this movie somehow, some way. And, of course, they have a lot of explaining to do because at some point they will be integrated with the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we know as the adventures go forward. So there's going to be some... I know you're tired of it, but there's going to be some multiversity involved in this as well in order to make these things line up in some way to make them get to Avengers Doomsday, which, of course... And I imagine at some point Robert Downey Jr. is going to show up here as Dr. Doom. All right. So we will see how it goes. It comes out July 25th, but if you want a little taste, it's not a full, blown trailer. It's 1:30. You get a little bit of a sneak peek of it, but it gives you a good idea of the aesthetic of the new Fantastic Four movie. I am sure it'll be played before Captain America New World Order when that comes out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah!
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown next on the X.
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Check out the YouTube later. See Nick fly. Hey,
Black Butterfly.
We have got Pop Culture Smackdown here in a mega Morning After prize pack as we've got some Porta Subs for you. Everybody loves food. Porta Subs has some delicious sandwiches. We'll hook you up with a gift certificate for 2 medium combos. get you qualified for a awesome, humongous porta sub sandwich that you could use maybe for a big game party if you choose. We also have here tickets to Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, and Seven Dust, February 25th. In a couple weeks at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. That will be a phenomenal show. We'll get you lined up with all of this here. If you can beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown, Nick, after you get past this first question, it might be an easy run for you. We'll see. First question.
Hey, don't forget that we got to qualify somebody for Free Gas Friday.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Free Gas Friday, to the chagrin of our buddy Gas Buddy. We're going to give away $200 in gas thanks to our friends at Walmart here on Friday, so you're qualified for that as well. Thank you, Nick.
So the prize package is a big one, as Big J had stated. So if you want to get in on this, 208-287-1003 is the number. Winner take all. Or at the very least, winner qualified for a bunch, and winner takes for sure Disturbed tickets and for sure some Porta Subs combo meals coming your way. And none of that is terrible, so good luck to everybody. Hello, the X.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, buddy. What's your name?
Ty. T-Right.
All right, Ty, you're up first.
Ben Stiller starred in a movie about an offbeat sport that introduced us to ESPN The Ocho. Was that movie called Ultimate Frisbee, Dodgeball, or Miniature Golf?
Dodgeball.
Right.
Dodgeball is 100% correct. Nick, Robert Redford has never won an Oscar for acting, but he did win one for directing. Which movie was it? Was it...
Stop.
Oh, you know.
Ordinary People.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. You got through that. Darn. Ty, name the two teams meeting in the Super Bowl this Sunday.
That'll be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. Good job. Nick, Tim Meadows took one of his SNL characters, Leon Phelps, to the big screen. What was the name of that movie?
The Ladies' Man.
There you go. Good job.
Right.
True or false, the bass player of The Offspring is called Noodles.
True.
Right.
All right. Nick, which Taylor Swift song sampled Idris Elba? Is it Lover, Me, or London Boy?
Hey, can I ask a side question?
Please.
Are all of those options actually Taylor Swift songs?
Yes.
Okay. Then, judging from the fact that Idris Elba is from England, I'm going to say London Boy.
That is incorrect. I'm just kidding.
Is that right?
It's correct.
I have no idea.
And I'm out of questions.
Hey, I run the table
I
again.
didn't think you would get past that first question.
Ordinary People, it's a great film, man. Tim
but you
Meadows,
didn't
former
even
guest
hear-
the morning after.
You didn't even hear the other.
What were the other ones?
The other options. A River Runs Through It. It's a great
Yeah, I know.
movie.
Yeah, but I know he didn't win for that.
All right.
I know he won for Ordinary People.
job.
Donald Sutherland's great in it. Mary Tyler Moore is great in it.
Tomorrow it'll be impossible. You won't get past
Congratulations, man. Even though you didn't defeat me, Big J ran onto questions, and that's just as good as beating me. You've got yourself tickets to Disturbed, my friend, and 3 Days Grace, and Seven Dust. You're also qualified for Free Gas Friday. Some Porta Subs coming your way, and you're qualified for that grand prize, Porta Subs as well. Nicely done. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your Pop Culture Smackdown. We got ourselves some headlines next on the X.
Yes, you are now a better person for knowing this. It's Headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by our big game party Sunday, the morning after with Nick and Big J. A bunch of the X crew out at Sturman's in Eagle. Brand new location. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. It's indoor, outdoors. It's completely heated. It's got a bunch of TVs, a bunch of great drink specials going on, including 20% off your entire alcohol tab at Sturman's in Eagle. It's going to be fun for the big game. So join us. 805 East Plaza Drive, right off of State Street. In Eagle is where we're going to be. Free pizza, first come, first serve basis. You're allowed to bring your own food. You can order your own food to be delivered as well. Whatever you want, come on down. Let's have ourselves a good time. Plus, get there before kickoff. We're going to have our free Super Square Pool up for grabs. We'll have tickets to Disturbed and 3 Days Grace and Seven Dust and 3 different autographed guitars. Woo! Tickets to Kill Switch Engage. All of this stuff will be given away at Sturman's on Sunday for the big game. Come on and join us February 9th for crying out loud. The live broadcast is going to begin at 2:30. Game kicks off at 4:30. Get there before then to be a part of the free square pool. Will you please?
Okay.
And join us and let's have a good time. Sturman's in Eagle, 805 East Plaza Drive. That's where we're going to be, and hopefully you will be as well. Headlines are as follows, Big J. Like a cartoon seems a bit much, and look at me.
Look at me.
Hang on.
Oh.
Look at me. You're the captain now.
Look at me. You're the captain now.
You get the Captain Phillips reference, Big J?
Yeah.
Mario Scalato has spent the last 25 years going on 1,000 voyages with Royal Caribbean.
Damn.
However, he's been living at sea so long he has had an odd side effect. Mario cannot walk on land. He says he's lost his land legs. He sways so much he can't walk in a straight line. He's
like a cartoon
so
character.
used to being on ships that it feels more comfortable to him than being on land. While most have the problem at sea, Mario has seemingly adjusted fine to life on water, but he has a technical term for that inability to walk on land. It is called mal de quarbet syndrome, and that's a real thing. And in case you're wondering what he's doing on over 1,000 voyages, he spends about $100,000 a year going on different voyages and cruises, so he must be rich with a capital R.
Rich without any land legs.
That's right. Good luck walking on land, Richie.
Yeah, sucker.
Guess who's going to win in a race? Me. Like a cartoon or seems a bit much?
Seems a bit much.
Big J, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and maybe you're single, and maybe you have an ex in your life, and maybe you're not a fan of that ex. In Michigan, an animal shelter there will help scorned lovers soothe their wounds by letting you, quote, neuter your ex. Those who donate $25 to Heaven Can Wait Animal Haven will have a feral cat named after their ex, and then they will then fix that cat in your ex's honor. The shelter's Trap Neuter Return program will snip the animal and return them to their colony.
Jesus.
The cats will be named in the order in which they're given, so your ex's namesake may be fixed sometimes in the next few months. It doesn't have to be done, right away, but they'll take advantage of this over the next couple. So you'll have a feral cat named after your ex that will then have its private parts cut off in your honor.
That's a little too far.
I get it. It's doing a good service. I understand why it's there. This feels really, really weird to me that this is a thing. I mean, there are things that maybe you're just like, that's a little too uncomfortable, like neutering your ex.
Because what's the next step is like sponsoring pets to be euthanized.
Yeah, a kill shelter will say kill your ex. I don't like any of that at all. No.
Come on.
I mean, it does seem a little bit out of bounds.
How about you get over it and move on from your ex?
Damn.
You losers.
You'd rather neuter your ex than go to therapy. How about like a cartoon to wrap it up? A banana has landed a Florida woman in the slammer after she used it as a weapon to attack a cashier at 7-Eleven. Police say 27-year-old Chevy Turner, a stripper at a gentleman's club there in Clearwater, walked into a convenience store, got into a verbal argument with the person behind the counter. Police did not say what the argument was about, but the woman exchanged some sort of derogatory comments about each other. And then apparently Turner picked up one of those fancy bananas you see at the gas station and then chucked it at the worker's face, causing a minor abrasion. She was arrested and charged with battery. She's also being held without bond. She violated her probation, Big J. She was previously arrested for Grand Theft Auto. And now she's tossing bananas all over the place. We've had a lot of food-related issues going on. Bologna sandwiches yesterday, ranch sauce today, and now bananas. It's a lot of stuff happening.
Is it a Jackson's or what?
Well, it's a 7-Eleven. So let's leave the food out of our problems that we have with other people. Agree or disagree, Big J?
Please.
Settle this with your fists like normal people. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your headlines. You're up to date on everything. It is the X-Rocks. It's the Morning After with Nick and Big J. And to tell you what, we always have our fingers on the pulse of what makes things cool and hip. Agree or disagree, Big J?
No.
Huh?
We have stuff that tells us what's hip sometimes.
Then you tell me what's hip.
All right, so we don't know how much longer we're going to have the joy and wonderment of TikTok, Nick.
At least till April.
Yeah, or the trends that therefore are upon that. And I don't see a lot of them because that's not part of my algorithm. But there's something that's pretty funny. Women are describing their exes as clothing brands on TikTok. And so this might be helpful in case you care about that sort of thing. And it's kind of funny, the definition. So Tommy Hilfiger, that's a popular brand clothing, Nick.
Is it still?
Yes, because Hilfiger out of a way to lie about anything.
Hilfiger away?
Hilfiger out of a way to...
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get it. It's a pun.
Now, Ross, dress for less?
Yes.
Because I settled for less. So they call somebody Ross. H&M, because he was trying to be hers and mine. So, clearly a cheater there. Gerber, can you guess what that's for?
Well, there's no such thing as a Gerber store, so I'm already having a problem with this one. But because he's a baby?
Yeah, he's a mama's boy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's a mama's boy. Forever 21.
Oh, no.
Because he refuses to grow up.
Thank God they went that angle.
Yeah. TJ Maxx, paid the max, got the minimum.
All right. Okay.
Nike, constantly just doing it with someone else.
There you go.
Goodwill,
No.
because he's been handed down a lot.
Very nice.
Yeah, ouch. Kmart, but they shouldn't even be Kmart. I mean, I don't think there's a Kmart open anymore. Right?
They may be just online at this point, if that.
This is why. Because he's done disappeared.
Oh, there you go. I thought they were going to go with the blue light special angle, but that worked.
Here's one in our world, Nick Vans, because that's what he lived out of since I left.
That's nice. See,
Yeah.
they get to be a little bit creative. That means I'm going to ask you a follow-up question, Big J. What clothing store and brand describes you?
Gosh, that's a fantastic question. Big and tall. He's big in all the right places.
Oh!
No.
Burn.
No.
I love it.
How about you?
I was going to say, before it already popped up there, I was going to say Goodwill, but they stole my thunder.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, it's nice of you to say, but I believe my exes would have a different story altogether than you, Big J. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, totally.
I guess.
I'd call you Gucci.
That's nice, buddy. I think that's a compliment, right?
Yeah, it is.
Is it still cool? Is Gucci
Yeah.
still cool?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Again, finger on the pulse. I don't know what TikTok says. But describe your ex any way you want to, and then have him neutered, Big J. This is
For
the next
Valentine's Day.
This is the next trend.
Bring it around, brother.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, we got your bad impressions. That's next on the X Rocks.
Dear Winter.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, bad impressions here. We got a great morning after prize package for you that includes tickets to the Harlem Globetrotters. They're going to be here on Sunday out at the Ford Idaho Center Arena early enough so you won't have to miss the big game. We'll get you out there. We'll get you those tickets. We'll also get you some Porta Subs, 2 medium combos. Also get you qualified for a ginormous Porta Sub sandwich. It'll be delicious. And get you qualified for Free Gas Friday, baby. $200 in gas. We'll give it away Friday. Thanks for friends at Walmart. All this is yours if you figure out bad impressions today.
208-287-1003 is our number. Bad impressions works like this. Big J has 3 clues. They all point you in the direction of
a celebrity.
Okay. Today it's a celebrity. Sometimes it's a band. Sometimes it's a brand. Sometimes it's an object. You never know. But today it's a celebrity. And if you can figure out who that celebrity is in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It is you going to the Harlem Globetrotters on Sunday. You also have some Porta Subs coming your way, and you're qualified for some pretty big things. Let's see how it goes. Hello, the X.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, buddy? What's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff. All right, you're up first, man. Good luck.
I was a Mickey Mouse star who hit it big with High School Musical.
Oh, God. Next clue.
My unbearable handsomeness landed me roles in the Neighbors movies and that Baywatch movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, my God. Next clue.
At some point, I've had some major face work done. See me in my movie Iron Claw.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke.
Now listen,
that's way bad.
Not a bad guess with the face work clue, but not correct, Jeff. But thank you for playing, brother. We appreciate
You
you.
recently see a picture of Axl Rose and Mickey Rourke together.
Do they look the same?
You know.
That ain't great. Hello, the X.
Morning, guys.
How you doing, man? Did you hear the clues or do you need them again?
I'm going to need him again.
I was a Mickey Mouse star who hit it big with High School Musical. My unbearable handsomeness landed me roles in the Neighbors movies and the Baywatch movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At some point, I've had major face work done. See my movie Iron Claw.
Oh, man. What is that guy's name?
Big J, you said a
it's not
real
right,
crush
but-
on him.
Yeah, until he got
Not
face
Channing
work.
Tatum, is it?
No.
No, but it's along that ilk.
Yeah, you're in the right.
All right.
I
Sorry,
guess we
man.
need a lady.
Thank
to
you
answer
for
this.
thank you for trying. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's been a while since he's done anything like truly impactful, and I think
Iron Claw just came out like 2 years ago.
I get it. Did you see it?
Yeah, of course. It was great.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Hello, what's it about again? Oh, that's the wrestling
Wrestling,
one.
yeah.
That's the Van whatevers. Hello, what's the name again?
The Van
brother?
Buren.
No, it's
the
not
Van Buren Boys.
What is the name of the wrestler?
I don't remember.
You didn't see it, did you?
I did. Of course.
Hello, the X.
Hi, how's it going? It's Matt here.
All right, Matt. Did you hear the clues?
Yeah, it's Zac Efron.
Yeah,
Sure
thank
is.
God, man.
God, Zac Efron is right.
You're the best, dude.
Good job. Hang on 1 second, man. We'll hook you up with the Porta Subs. We'll hook you up with the Harlem Globetrotters. Get you qualified for Free Gas Friday as well. as the Porta Subs Big Old Party Platter. Big J, why is Zac Efron in the news?
Good news. He's going to be in a movie coming up here with Will Ferrell on an Amazon MGM comedy called well, here's the story.
Oh, no.
It follows a young convict fresh out of prison who takes a reality TV courtroom hostage, blaming the megalomaniac TV judge, played by Ferrell, for a past ruling that the convict feels ruined his life. So that is going to be fun. Of course, Ferrell is just now starring in that Amazon rom-com, You're Cordially Invited.
Did you see that yet?
No, I haven't. I was waiting for it to pop up in Streaming Dumbass. But
No. We won't do those.
Why?
Because the movies that you will very clearly want to watch yourself, those aren't fun. You can watch them on your own time.
You son of a bitch!
Sorry, dude.
Put those in there. I wait to watch them.
I've told you this
so
since
I
the
don't
beginning.
ruin it.
When's the last one that happened with? I'll wait.
The last movie that I watched
That you really wanted to see, that you knew couldn't wait for streaming.
it's all the time. It's constant.
Like what?
Let's see that movie. It's number one on Netflix. Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx.
I watched
haven't
that
done
movie.
that one. Yeah, I've been waiting for that to pop up.
Because I watched it already as part of Streaming Dumbass. That's not when you were
how
gone.
am I supposed to know that?
I'm just telling you. You're going to wait for a long. But you can't give me an example of a movie that hasn't actually popped up. That's not how that works.
What, you just said a movie that I watched that I normally would have waited for. I've been waiting for that. I haven't watched it.
No, I wanted you to give me a movie that you have been waiting to watch that has popped up as an option on Streaming Dumbass.
Oh, it's all the time, and I just don't. I mean, it's usually not the movie that gets selected, anyways.
Hey, this is fun. Hang on 1 second. We will
Yeah,
make
you're
sure.
damn right it was fun.
All I wanted to know if you wanted to see that movie or not. But we will wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
ZipRecruiter is
Papa Roach, that's brand new stuff from them, Even If It Kills Me. That's a good song here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J, and that's going to wrap things up today for us. Thank you for hanging out with us. Special thank you to Jamie Lissow, the comedian, going to be at the Egyptian Theater on Valentine's Day next Friday. Just a few seats available, but get them while you can. Go to EgyptianTheater.net or xrock.com for your tickets, or JamieLissow.com to get your direct tickets to that show and spend your Valentine's Day in a wonderful theater and enjoying a wonderful comedy show. Also, had a chance to talk a little bit about movies, as Big J will have to watch a movie called, I cannot remember what it's called. What's it called?
The Long Gone Heroes.
Long Gone Heroes. Thank you for remembering that title. Big J will watch that tonight on Paramount Plus and review it for you tomorrow morning. We also had a chance to give away a bunch of things today. That will continue tomorrow, including more chances at Disturbed 3 Days Grace and 7 Dust tickets, and that leaves you with the floor, Big J.
The most disgusting combination I think I've ever heard of, Nick, is an Ohio-based brand, Grater's Ice Cream, have partnered with SkyLine Chili.
Jesus God Almighty.
To create a special edition chili ice cream.
Why?
I don't know, but it sounds like SkyLine chili is disgusting on its own.
Agreed.
So I'm putting that in ice cream. Oh,
well, now listen. First of all, one of the things that makes SkyLine chili an abomination is it's so cinnamon forward, and so maybe that's what they're thinking. It adds it to make a good flavor for ice cream. But I don't
Just
understand
have cinnamon ice cream.
The savory ice cream. First of all, is a thing that I'll never wrap my head around. Yeah. And then SkyLine chili is another thing that I think is absolutely disgusting that I cannot figure out. And there are people that will die on that hill that tell you it's delicious. And
they're going to die alone.
Yeah, it's fine if you want to be those people, but God, it's bad. It is just. And I remember I tried it. You were so excited.
So excited.
Well, because you saw the mound of cheese and you're like, it has to be good.
And now put that on my normal spaghetti.
And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's disgusting. Do not do it. And then you had it. And you were like, well, at least you told me I was right. That felt good. Hey, the next set of X Rock is brought to you by Team Mazda and the Pre-Owned Superstore. If you're looking for a newer used vehicle, why don't you check out Team Mazda, huh? You can go to the website, goteammazda.com, get started there. The iPrecheck button is there. It's big, it's blue. You can't miss it. Click on it, and next thing you know, you're driving off in a car that you absolutely love. So check it out for your next vehicle, goteammazda.com. That's it for us. Jason Drew's up next. We'll see you all tomorrow at CX Rocks.
at Papa